き残った者は死んだ者のことを考え続ける。どんな形である。それがずっと続く。僕や君はそうやって生きていかなくちゃいけない。
Drive My Car, a film by Ryusuke Hamaguchi, based on a short story by Haruki Murakami, feels like meditation. It's a deep, emotional film that builds its premise on silence. The main character, Yusuke, is a stage director that lives in Tokyo that drives a red Saab 900 Turbo. When he drives, he listens and rehearses his lines from tapes recorded from his wife, Alto, a screenwriter who narrates her stories after she has sex. One day, his wife introduces him to a young television star named Koji. Yusuke travels to a theater festival he's going to play in, but it gets delayed. He returns home and finds that his wife is cheating on him with Koji. He leaves without saying anything. Yusuke gets into a car crash. He discovers that he has glaucoma in one eye and must take eye drops to prevent blindness. Alto asks to have a serious conversation with him. Yusuke drives around the whole day, and as he returns home, he finds Alto laying on the floor, unresponsive. We then see Alto's funeral. We learn that she has died from a brain hemorrhage. 2 years pass. Yusuke is driving to a production company he has been hired to direct, Chekhov's Uncle Vanya, and we are introduced to Masaki Watari, a very reserved, quiet girl who was hired by the production company to drive Yusuke around town. He first refuses because he doesn't want anyone to drive his car, but Masaki offers to give him a test drive, and as she says,
わかりました。では乗っていて、もし少しでも危険だと思わ
the reason he's reluctant is because that car is personal to him and acts as a sanctuary for him. He still listens to his wife on the recording even though she has passed away. He listens to the recording as she drives. He has become comfortable with his world, and this is how he deals with grief. As Masaki drives him around, we, the audience, become an awkward passenger to two strangers becoming comfortable with silence. Drive My Car tackles so many moments of unresolved pain, but it never erupts. But we see all of the destruction of Yusuke's life fall apart through his restrained reactions. Like Yusuke casting Koji for the play, the man his wife had an affair with right before she died.
いや、俺家福さんと一体何の話してんだろうって。元さんはきっと幸せでしたね。家福さんみたいな人が旦那さんで。
Yusuke's approach to rehearsing Chekhov's Uncle Vanya to the cast is a monotone, measured repetition of dialogue that mirrors his own way of rehearsing the lines, which in turn is how he's able to compartmentalize his mind from storing any emotional connection to his pain. The cast even gets fed up with not being able to show any emotions during the rehearsal. But he puts his foot down and is adamant on rehearsing the lines this specific way, almost as if fighting with himself on being able to change. Yusuke casts Lee Yoon-ae as Sunya. She's a deaf actress that adds a complete emotional resonance to the film. Every scene she appears in feels like a warm hug. All the characters in the film feel comfortable around her. This film is about being vulnerable, allowing others to share that vulnerability and being able to move on. Misaki's careful handling of Yusuke's car is a reflection of her careful tenderness towards his emotional past. We learn more about their past lives as the film goes, and as they become more and more trusting, we get to see these very, very beautiful landscapes and cinematically appealing shots of the world around them. The film was deliberately shot to contradict dialogue and the images on screen. Much like the opening shot of Otto telling her story, we are only shown a silhouette of her, giving the audience a sense of mystery surrounding this husband and wife's relationship. Drive My Car was shot on digital Arri Alexa minis with Zeiss Ultra Prime lenses. It is beautiful, especially scenes with the red Saab, which I mentioned earlier acts as a sanctuary between Yusuke and Misaki, both of whom are grieving. and this car acts as a safe space for them to be in calmness, where the silence evolves from awkwardness to peace. This peace is disrupted by one of my favorite shots of the entire film, a shot where Koji is in the back seat, talking to Yusuke about his wife, and the light fixed on Koji's face creates a very sinister, dramatic effect. This scene feels so nightmarish, and even a scene that looks so simple feels incredibly effective. The film doesn't try to give a clear answer to what characters want, and that is resolution. It doesn't give the characters any way of conquering their pain, but Drive My Car instead gives us another way to process suffering, and it is simply to learn to live with it. Perhaps pain and suffering was meant to be driving, and to overcome grief is to move forward, even when the road feels endless. I'm Beach Skies, and this is